Should we go into some law?
Yes.
Some GrassTooth law, some school law.
Back to the beginning.
We got a comment from an old friend, good friend, and he asked us to go into some details into our sordid pasts. Specifically, the music block back at school. So our school was it specialized in music, right?
We were very good at music.
Yeah. A lot of the school money was being pumped into the music block.
People like me,
people like him, the music boys. And do you want to talk a bit about it?
Yeah, I mean the music block kind of. I don't know if you remember the landscape of how our school.
I remember it well.
But the music block was kind of its own little thing on the outskirts of the school, right? It was kind of
tucked away in its
own little place. But I think that's why it was so magical. It was it was a small concentrated space of really creative, spiritual people, not just musicians. Like we made it into a thing where when we were in sixth form, obviously there was a hub of there was a few of us, maybe like 3 or 4 from our group who were kind of there. But then we just invited people in. You came along, lots of other people did, and it just created a fusion of mayhem, which I really love. So yeah, good memories of that place.
It wasn't just mayhem though. Like it just felt mayhem. Sure, there's a bit of mayhem, but it felt more peaceful.
Yeah.
Like we had our sixth form block, which that was more mayhem for me. That was too much testosterone. Just a bunch of people working, and then upstairs there's the common room. It wasn't for me. For me, it was more like
it was good mayhem.
It was good mayhem. It was like a
safe.
Botticelli painting. That's what the music block was. Okay, it had its little. What was that little bird cage just outside of it?
Oh yeah,
there was a little bench area,
very picturesque. It
was
quite nice.
Was beautiful. All right, the angels lived there.
Like a French romantic.
But it wasn't all just angel fun. There was also Zumba classes.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us about Zumba classes?
Absolutely.
Held by yours truly.
I randomly got into Zumba in like year 12. I saw a sweaty Latina woman running her own sessions on YouTube. And I was all about Zumba. And as I was watching those in my own little room at home, I decided to bring that into the music block. And I introduced it to a few of our friends. There was probably like 6 or 7 of us, 7 lads. And I said, guys, do you want to do a Zumba class with me? And like as an instructor. And they all said, yeah, absolutely. So I put on some Zumba music, some fantastic, energetic music. And we were sort of 10 minutes into a sweaty session, my friend. Like we were shaking stomachs, our arms and legs. We were all sweaty. It was good. We were having a good time, spiritual. And then it got to the climax, which is kind of where we're all sort of kind of grinding on the floor.
You were doing some floor work, right?
Floor work. It was kind of like Magic Mike.
Right.
That type of vibe, right? There was no crowd. It was just us 7 lads grinding on the floor. And as we're sort of getting into it, the head of the music department walked in. And just looked me straight in the eyes. But luckily he liked me, so he didn't say anything directly, but he just went, guys, what the f*** are you all doing? And then we all just said, sorry, sir, and walked out.
I wasn't part of this Zumba class.
I really wish you were.
Yeah,
you
I feel like I would have had a lot of fun. There was also do you remember the Human Square?
The Human Square.
Human Square was another thing. I think the friend who commented this, I think he was the one who found.
He was the pioneer of the Human Square.
And he said we need to try this out, and we did it one afternoon.
Yeah.
And it felt like I felt like I'd really accomplished something.
It felt like a scientific experiment, didn't it? Like it was quite.
It was like very well orchestrated. Everything had to be in its right place. And another memory that I had was the birth of our K-pop group.
Yeah.
So the K-pop kind of craze started off when we were in sixth form. And I think that was when Gangnam Style first became a big thing. I think not even just before sixth form, I'm not sure. But a few of us decided to create a K-pop group.
We did, yeah.
And we've got each of our own names. We'll get into it at a later date, but fond memories.
Yeah, we should at least tell them the name of the group.
I don't think we should.
Oh, save that for another.
Because there's a documentary out there floating around like a music documentary we're working on. Maybe it'll come out. Maybe you'll see the light one day.
100%.
But until then, let's get on with the show.
This is the GrassTooth podcast.
Welcome back.
Welcome, welcome.
We are going to do a quick hearing. Are you Japanese?
I am not Japanese.
Are you Japanese, though?
Am I Japanese?
Are you Japanese?
I'm not Japanese.
So you're telling me you're not a national, a Japanese national?
I'm not a Japanese national, no.
You're not?
No.
But you like anime, right?
Yeah, I like anime.
But then surely that means you're Japanese.
I'm not following the logic. I don't think just because you like something makes you...
Okay, hang on. You watch Japanese films?
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm assuming you don't have to use the subtitles because you understand Japanese, right?
No, I use the subtitles, obviously. I do.
Oh, I don't know if I believe that.
You don't need to believe it.
I think in a previous episode, you talked about the Japanese kind of Paris culture shock theory.
Right, yeah.
Was that based on personal experience as a Japanese person, or
what is going on?
What you guys have just seen, and many of you will have followed this, it's a very, very accurate depiction of what happened in a judicial hearing between the US Senator, Mr. Tom Cotton, I think his name was, and the CEO of TikTok, Mr. Shou Chu. Essentially, like, you haven't watched the video, right? You haven't seen it. Basically, they're in a hearing, and basically this Tom Cotton guy is like grilling this guy, saying, "You're Chinese, aren't you? You're Chinese," and he's basically trying to make links with the Chinese Communist Party. You know, TikTok's had its issues, kind of, in terms of with its links to China. So he's going, like, asking questions: "Are you Chinese? You're a Chinese national?" And the TikTok CEO is going, "Mate, I'm Singaporean."
Yeah.
And he kept on pushing it, and every answer TikTok CEO is like, "Mate, I'm Singaporean, no." And like, it just got ridiculous. It was basically a poor effort from the senator's part of going, "Oh, mate, I know you're Chinese. Just tell me, mate." And then the CEO is going, "Oh, I'm Singaporean, mate." And he's like, "No, I know you're Chinese. Very, very, very funny, but a very, very poor attempt of trying to create some sort of an issue. And I think what it kind of reminded me of was just how parents and teachers would sort of abuse their power, and they kept going, "Oh, I know it was you. Just admit, I know it was you." And like, it brought me back to school. I don't know if you remember this. This happened when we were in year 7.
Is this the Merits?
It's not the Merits. No, it's worse than that.
Okay.
Myself and a couple of other friends, we were throwing stones onto a rugby field.
Oh, right.
We were throwing stones onto a rugby field. And unbeknownst to us, behind us, the swimming pool window broke. So this became a massive thing. But obviously we were all just like, "Oh, how did that break?" It definitely wasn't us. We were throwing stones on the opposite direction. Lo and behold, a few days after, I get dragged in by this crusty old assistant head teacher. I think you know who I'm talking about. Drags me into an office. And in the same way this US senator was trying to be like, "You're Chinese, aren't you? You're Chinese." This assistant head teacher called me Chinese. No, I'm joking. He was saying like, "Oh, you broke the window, didn't you? You broke it. I know you broke it." And I was just like, "Sir, honestly, I didn't do anything. Please allow me." And he said something which was really funny. I don't know if this is comical to you, but it was comical to me at the time. He said to me, "These windows that you've shattered, they're capable of withstanding so much force that if I threw a hammer right now, this window in the office, in this smaller office, if I threw a hammer at this window, it would bounce back and it would kill me."
Right.
That's what he said to me.
Yeah.
Do you
I don't
agree
think you
with him?
understand how much money was invested into these windows.
But he said a hammer.
Full, like Thor's hammer would bounce right back.
Odin's hammer.
What's it called? Mjolnir.
Mjolnir, yeah, whatever his name is. I don't know where I got the bravery from, because in year 8, I was an even bigger pussy than I am now, right? I don't know where I got the bravery from.
You burst out laughing.
No, I did something worse. I said to him, I gave it like 10 seconds for his comment to marinate. Yeah. And then I said to him, "Sir, I think it would shatter the window."
You what?
I didn't think it would come back. And he just stared at me for 20 seconds with his saggy old face.
So wait. He's insisting that a hammer would break the window.
Yeah.
But like a little stone?
But that's what I mean.
Like he was saying he had no logic. Human force.
Exactly. He had no logic.
Right.
He had absolutely no logic.
It's a ridiculous thing. Like,
it's ridiculous. It's very similar to what happened here. I think it's very comical. I think you should watch it. It is pretty funny. Yeah. It is pretty funny. But yeah, that's a it's not really the glass truth, but a bit of news there, a bit of political news right there. All right, that's what we do. Bring it in nice and early.
Other bit of news though. The Grammys happened recently.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
I don't know anything about music. Okay, so why don't you give us a breakdown, Yoni? What is music? How are the Grammys chosen? Like, what's the whole process for that? Is it a popularity contest, or is it like, do they actually appreciate the art? Like, what's going on there?
Is this coming from a place of like?
I'm just giving you the same questions you asked me, like for the Oscars.
Right, okay.
The exact same questions. Like, why would I know how the Academy works? Do you understand? But you should know.
I should know, right?
Yeah, someone who asks these questions.
Yeah, I should know.
You should have
yeah.
done the research. Go on, tell us.
Great. Wow. I think people just vote, man.
Oh,
I think
they do.
so. From what I understand, it's a peer-to-peer voting system. I think
P2P.
P2P, yeah, P2P. I think it's like a, like a peer marking. In school when you give each other full marks. I think it's that kind of vibe. I don't know. See, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm not trying to say I know the truth. I don't think it's any journalists or anything. I think it purely is like.
Hey,
the
I don't
artists
actually
vote for
care
each
about
other.
who votes for who. Okay. But do you think it's a popularity contest?
Probably is, right?
Yeah.
I think all of this stuff is popularity. Films, music, it has to be popularity, right?
That's what you say.
I think it is.
So who won? Or who were the big winners for the Grammys?
I think we all know the big winners. There's one big winner who I think we both know.
Album of the year?
Album of the year. Is album of the year one of the biggest awards? I think it's one of the biggest.
I think it's pretty
It's
apart
probably
from
the
like
biggest.
record of the year.
From what I've read, there's 4 main sort of Grammys, and I think that's one of them. I think the other ones are like best newcomer, best song, or best record, or whatever. Yeah.
Album of the year went to
Swizzle.
T.S. Eliot.
T Swizzle.
What are your thoughts on that?
Huh?
What are your thoughts?
What do you think are my thoughts?
I feel like they're pretty similar to my thoughts on the MCU.
Listen, I don't know, man. Like, the problem is I haven't listened to her album, so I can't really judge.
I was listening to a few of the songs on the way.
Really?
Yeah.
And did you believe it was album of the year award worthy, or?
Let me just hit you with some of the lyrics that I found. Just off the one song. Like, I was like, what's the most popular song on this? And I was like, as in, maybe you'll like these. I don't know. I should not be left to my own devices. They come with prices and vices. I end up in crises. Yeah.
Do you know what she's done there?
What has she done?
Have you heard of a website called Rhyme Zone? She's just typed in, was prices the first word?
It was devices.
What words rhyme with prices? What word rhymes with devices? And then she's made lyrics out of the first 5 that she's seen there.
I wake up screaming from dreaming. One day I'll watch as you're leaving because you got tired of my scheming. Yeah? Album of the year. Come on.
Can I just say as well, not only that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you saw what she did. Did you hear what she did?
What did she do?
She, as she was getting the award, she announced that she has a new album coming out.
Oh, yes.
The
Tortured Poets
Department. And that's coming out in April. But she dropped the song list. So I had a look at some of the names of the songs. And I've got some comments to make.
Go on, I'd love to hear them.
Number 3 on that album. My boy only breaks his favourite toys.
Oh.
Like, the fuck?
It sounds... Okay, hurry up.
Why would I break my favourite toys?
Because, as in, let me guess. She is his favourite toy. He objectifies her. And he breaks her.
Just why, though? Do you think I'm breaking my Ken doll?
It sounds like a Lana Del Rey lyric. So maybe Taylor Swift's going into the Lana Del Rey.
Let's hope so. I'm going to listen to that song. Okay. I'm going to wait for that song to come out. Number 11. I can fix him. In brackets, no, I really can. Are you Bob the Builder? Why are you trying to fix things? Just allow me, man. Number 12. LOML.
Love of My Life.
Love of My Life. I'm guessing Travis Kelce, maybe?
Oh.
Yeah, Travis Kelce. Do you remember my predictions?
Yeah, I do.
Let's see if it pans out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Travis Kelce, Taylor. Is it gonna happen?
There are rumors. There's going to be a proposal at the Super Bowl. We'll see how the prediction pans out.
Is that the word on the grapevine? Yeah. Wow. Okay. And number 14, the smallest man who ever lived.
That's me.
I thought that was me. But that's so heightist. You can't be saying those things. Taylor, come on, you're better than that. And now she's threatening a student with legal action, apparently.
Is that one of the titles?
No. That's what's actually happening in the news right now. She's about to threaten.
For finding her
like flight times or something. Yeah.
Seeing how many times she's flying that private plane of hers. Oh, Taylor.
Taylor. But my girlfriend had a few words to say about it as well.
About the win?
About the win, yeah.
What did she say?
Because I was just like, you know what? Album of the year. Did she really deserve it? Did she really deserve it? And she said to me, and might I add, with a lot of attitude, right? It was kind of like a hands on her hips, like, that sort of vibe, right? She was like, there's so many people getting salty about it, but she deserved it. Clearly, she won for a reason. And then there was a bit of a pause as I was kind of looking at her, a bit dumbfounded. And do you know what she sang?
What did she sing?
Haters gonna hate. I was truly like, I didn't know what to think. I didn't know how to react.
But like, I'm sorry, I keep making this about me. But this is how I feel when people talk to me about the MCU and about Lord of the Rings and about Star Wars. Taylor Swift is those things. Do you understand?
I do understand, yeah.
Do you though? Because you back it a lot.
I do understand. But I like the Marvel films. I like Lord of the Rings. I've never once claimed they're the best. They're the best films in the in cinema history. I'm just saying, bro.
I'm just checking.
I'm not claiming that, but there's no denying the cultural impact that they've had to on a lot of people. You know what? That's what I'm saying.
Taylor Swift's doing as well, though.
Yeah.
Is it for the best?
It's just Taylor Swift ain't for me. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's not for you. She's not for you either, is she?
No. Every time I put on a song, like the only time I listen to Taylor Swift is when we talk about it, and I'm just like, let me just see what this is about again. And I hear it, and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, can I just stop?
Yeah.
I can't take it. It's too much. It's actually too much.
Yeah, it's just blank space, isn't it?
Other things though, big year for Killer Mike. Won both Rap Album of the Year for Michael and Rap Song of the Year for Engineers and Scientists.
You're a fan of him, right?
I'm a huge Run the Jewels fan.
Run the Jewels, yeah. I think you got me into Run the Jewels as well.
Yeah. And then even his like rap album, I think it's called Rap Album or AP album. Brilliant stuff. I feel like the Michael album wasn't as good as that stuff, but it's cool that he's getting his flowers now because there's been a long time coming. And I haven't really looked into it, but have you heard that he got arrested?
Yeah, I saw the video. He was walking out in handcuffs
because he assaulted someone. Apparently, he fitted the description. Did you follow up on that?
I haven't followed, but I've heard he's out now. He's free, I think. Yeah. I don't know if I've read that wrong, but it's kind of crazy, man.
As in, love and respect to Killer Mike, but I feel like this incident, this just in isolation, this incident of Killer Mike winning Rap Album and Rap Song of the Year, and then being arrested and put in handcuffs and being dragged out of the Grammys, that just sums up like the black experience in America for me. Like there's a lot of that like push for diversity and like positive discrimination or whatever, but at the same time still getting fucked.
Yeah.
It
is kind of crazy.
Love to you, Killer Mike. You're great. But speaking of the black experience in America, another significant moment happened.
Yes, it did happen.
Jay-Z on stage with Blue Ivy, and he addressed the fact that Beyonce's won so many Grammys, but still not an album.
She hasn't won the big one.
She hasn't won the big one.
Hasn't won the big one. Yeah.
Thoughts?
Very brave. Or is it brave? I don't know. Did you see Beyonce's reaction?
She didn't look
She just did not care.
Yeah.
Or she didn't look impressed. Yeah. I don't know. It's It's actually quite funny because thinking about the context of it as well. Essentially, so I know when he did that speech, it was before Taylor Swift got announced, I think, as the album of the year. But it's essentially a bit of a subtle par, isn't it? Because he said a comment about like, oh, there's some people who think they're going to get robbed. There's some people who don't deserve to be here, blah, blah, blah. And I think obviously when Taylor Swift won it, I think he was kind of referring to her. So it was a bit of it was more distinguished and noble par, I think, to Taylor Swift. And I thought that was quite funny. But in terms of what he's saying, listen, like I'm not... I like Beyonce. I like some of her songs. She's definitely dropped bangers. No, she's definitely dropped bangers.
Okay, fine.
She dropped a few bangers, and like I'm not denying the cultural impact she's had on people. For me, like she's aight. She's good. She's good. And I'll leave it there. That's what I think. How about you?
Yeah. I don't know what to say.
We have to tread lightly here.
I know.
Because I'm saying like Beyonce, bro, like the impact she has. I'm not denying it. It's big.
Yeah,
it's big, and she's a very talented artist. But I think ultimately music.
I feel like the album of the year nominations are all whack. That's where I stand. They're usually all like. Can we try and branch out of pop more, please? Why? I feel like a lot of the rap albums of the year should have been albums of the year, right? Why have they just got their own little category? I know it's just to make it easier for like the Grammys, so they don't have to think about this stuff. But there's a lot of quality stuff in the rap albums of the year, right? And is rap not the new rock? Yeah, kind of is. So come on, let's Killer Mike. Why don't you give him an album of the year?
I think you said it as well regarding film. Like some people say, like we shouldn't be like judging films on like awards. I think you said that before.
Yeah.
Same thing with music, in my opinion, bro. Like music for me, like if you ask me what my favorite song is or my favorite artist is, I can't answer you because I listen to certain things to cater for different emotions and different times of what I'm going through in life. Do you know what I mean? So to say, oh, this person's music is album of the year, I don't buy it. If that's what you want to do, that's calm. But like, I'm not going to complain about it. But like music for me is just subjective.
Personally, I will complain. If you're going to call something album of the year, it needs to be extraordinary. That's what I'm going to leave that topic at that. One last thing before we move on though. Joni Mitchell came out and performed. Love to you, Joni Mitchell. She had an aneurysm in like 2015. Love. Keep doing your thing.
Respect.
The GlassTruth. Making sense of nonsense.
And we are back with the GlassTruth, where two boys dissect what's been happening in our geopolitical space, in this sphere of existence. That's what we do. We carve through the BS like a juicy roast on a lazy Sunday afternoon.
Ooh.
Gopi, it's your turn this week, isn't it?
It is.
To give us something. What have you got for us?
Flight risk. That's the opening to the headline.
Okay.
Suspected spy pigeon released after 8 months in detention in India. Indian police have cleared a suspected Chinese spy pigeon and released it into the wild after 8 months in detention, according to reports. The pigeon's ordeal began in May when it was captured near a port in Mumbai with 2 rings tied to its legs, carrying a message that was said to look like it was Chinese. Right? But it turns out it was revealed that the pigeon was an open water racing bird from Taiwan that had escaped and made its way to India. With police permission, the bird was transferred to the Bombay Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. Mumbai police could not be reached for comment.
It's quite heartwarming.
Is it heartwarming?
I went back to the RSPCA, basically, right?
How is that heartwarming? 8 months of false detainment for this poor pigeon.
Well, if it had a good ending.
We don't know what kind of interrogations this pigeon was put through.
I'm hoping it's fine. I'm hoping it's all right.
Yeah, you hope.
I hope, yeah.
We don't know. Do you know about the situation of the police in India? There's a lot
of... They're not open to comments, are they?
Exactly. The police brutality is a huge issue in India.
Is it bad?
Yeah. We don't know what kind of techniques this pigeon was put through to make it speak the truth.
Can you give us an insight what they could be doing?
Do you actually want me to?
Yeah. Will they waterboard the pigeon?
There's a whole film about this, a Tamil film.
Okay.
And it's about police brutality.
For birds?
Not for birds, but we can extrapolate some information. It's called Visarane, otherwise known, the English name is interrogation. And it's basically like just complete violence from the police to try and get people, to force them to make statements, false statements. I wouldn't be surprised if they plucking feathers out, like how plucking toenails out and that kind of thing, plucking feathers out, whacking it on the beak, Sorry. No, I'm getting emotional thinking about it now. No, you should be. The things this poor Taiwanese pigeon has gone through.
It's gone through a lot, man.
Just because it speaks a different language? Disgusting.
They feel like they can do these to birds.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like that.
You don't like it?
I don't like it at all.
But what this made me think about...
Sorry, I'm just trying to think, like, where did they keep the bird? What sort of questions would they ask it? What are they doing to him? 8 months, That's almost a year. Like, what? Like, what happens in the police office? Like, are they going, have you talked to Winston, the bird over there? Like, what? How did... Oh, it's just so many questions, so many stones unturned.
But the whole conspiracy about how the birds are not what they seem. The owls are not what they seem,
Yeah.
So people think that birds aren't real.
Pigeons. They say that a lot about pigeons.
And they're just like surveillance.
Yeah, cameras.
Little robots or whatever.
Drones.
What kind of conspiracy theories are you into? What makes you tick?
What makes me tick?
What's your favorite? Which ones do you think are the most plausible? What's your go-to? I know you've said before you've been getting into conspiracy theories a lot.
Absolutely, bro.
What are your favorites?
Absolutely. I think my personal favorites, I think the main one is 9/11. Inside Job. That's the juiciest one. And that's, for me, personally, the most believable.
Yeah.
It being an inside job.
Can you give us some insight into why you believe that?
Some insight into it.
Yeah.
I think a number of there's a number of reasons, but I think the main reasons, politically, I can see it. A lot of it was surrounding like, the US government or the Bush administration needed an excuse to try and, kind of incite a war with the Middle East. And this is a perfect example. This is a perfect way to let that happen. So we suffer this thing and we go through with this. But then, now it's given us a legitimate political reason to do that. So that's one. And that's very, very believable, I think. The second one is, now I've watched countless hours of conspiracy documentaries and videos, live footage of the buildings. These buildings...
Countless hours, did you
Countless
say?
hours.
Wow.
I think during university, for maybe 3 or 4 years, I would get into a particular state where I would watch these religiously. Yeah. And like, bro, it's not a plane that did this. These are like internal demolitions that have happened. It's controlled demolition is what they called it. Someone's planted like explosives inside, and the way these buildings fall, it just falls so symmetrically and beautifully. That's not the job of a plane. That's the job of an inside man. And I think this is probably the least plausible out of it, but still a bit dodgy. There's a lot of suspicious activity around that time, where it's almost like people in the country knew what was going on. Like there was apparently, in terms of trading, there was a lot of suspicious activity that kind of purported to this. Apparently someone caught a video of like really suspicious like vans and like lorries coming the night before, like at a really late time when nothing was delivered, nothing was meant to be there. So, it's, I feel like it, it's internal, someone on the inside, you know what I mean? So that's the juiciest one, I think.
Which one do you think, which one do you kind of, maybe it's not true, maybe it is, but you like the sound of, like, can you give me one of those? The sound of,
I think Princess Diana is one.
Okay.
But it's weird. I think, to be honest, Princess Diana's quite believable, actually. The conspiracy, I think it's very believable. The one, which I thought was quite interesting, have you heard the conspiracy theories around chemtrails?
What are the conspiracy theories?
Do you know what?
Yeah, the chemtrails are in the planes.
Yeah. So actually, this has a bit of a history with my family, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was really young, I was in a garden and I saw a chemtrail for the first time in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow, look at the sky. Mum, look at the chemtrails. And she came out and she saw it. And she looked at it really ominously for about 10 seconds and then tapped me on the shoulder and said, son, let's go inside. And I was like, why? And she was like, just don't worry about it, just go inside. And from then on, I had a bit of it really piqued my interest at a young age and I researched into it. I mean, the conspiracy theory is that the chemtrails aren't as innocent as they seem. They're like agents of control, like biological agents which are not good for us. They're, whether it's for weather modification or political power. Like I think a lot of it is like sort of there's like toxins in these chemtrails and like they're there to sort of pollute certain areas or kind of corrupt people's minds or whatever, right? I like the sound of that, but I just don't think it's true. Personally, I think growing up and having matured a bit and looked into the science around it, I don't think it's plausible, but I like it. And it's things I'll pass on to the next generation, to my children. I'm going to do what my mum did to me.
Look up ominously, bring the child in.
Come inside, son. Come inside. They have to learn the hard way.
They do.
What about you?
Oh, gosh. I don't know. I feel like I let all of them play about a bit. I think the political ones, like the ones you mentioned, they're mostly probably true. They can't not be. I don't trust
exactly right. Come on.
any of these people. They're all in it for themselves. But yeah, I even play around with the alien stuff, like the Anunnaki. Do you know the Anunnaki?
No, I don't know about that one.
About these aliens that came like many millennia ago.
Right.
Came down, helped us advance, left, and they're supposed to come back at some point.
Oh, is it like with the pyramids and stuff?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of questions around how these people built these.
Yeah.
Those geezers.
Those geezers.
Smart. I like that.
Thank you.
Again, that's why I like you, bro. That's juicy. That's juicy gossip right there.
Saying a gossip like it's.
No, but how did they do it? How did they do it?
Apparently, there's loads of explanations.
Oh, okay. Right.
Why not let the imagination play for a bit?
Fester a bit. Do you know what I mean?
I do like a good conspiracy theory.
Same.
I heard someone say something once though, which made me really question everything. They said the amount that you believe in a conspiracy theory tends to be where you are on the socioeconomic scale.
Ooh.
So, like, the further down you are, the more likely you are to believe in conspiracy theories because you feel like there's a reason why all these things are happening. Like,
right.
I have no control on the outside world, therefore something is keeping me down.
Right, okay. Yeah, they feel helpless.
Yeah, whereas the further up you are, the more comfortable you are. And you're like...
Because you're probably involved in them.
No, I'm not talking about... Yeah, I'm not talking about the I'm talking middle class.
As you're going up.
Up to the social ladder. But then when you get up,
Yeah,
you're the one pulling the strings.
Yeah.
Of course you're going to believe in them.
Yeah, you're the one watching these YouTube videos going...
You got me. You got me.
Oh, it was me. Yes, I did all of this. Yes.
Yeah. Do you think the pigeons are robots or surveillance cameras?
I hope not, man, because I don't want any of them to go into prison again. I don't want them to be treated like this. So I hope not. But I think they do exist.
We hope you're okay, Taiwanese pigeon, Mr. Water Racer. Love to you and your family. And we want to hear your story. If you ever want to come onto the podcast, tell us what they put you through. Always welcome. Yeah?
If you have another race coming up, then just let us know. We'll try and get some tickets and we want to see you, man. We want to see you succeed.
Yeah, we really do.
All right, come on.
And that is the GlassTruth. I have two quick TV show. Can I take this?
Yeah.
You're in the middle of the podcast recording. Do you have anything to say? Wait, I'm going to put you on speaker. Say it.
I'm here with my Hi, I'm Sava. I'm here with my boyfriend Jacob. We're big fans of the podcast. We have it in the background when we're lying in bed together, and it brings us great joy. Ow!
Okay, guys, get a room. I'll talk to you. I'll see you in a bit. I'm gonna put the phone down. Bye. We are LGBTQ plus positive here. We are, aren't we?
Oh, we're fully positive.
Okay, yeah. On the GrassTooth podcast.
Too positive. And we just saw a great example there. Two fans.
Who are following a session of, hard making love. They like to tune in.
And they put this in the background. This is what we do. Our soothing voices for the masses.
We are the pillow talk of a generation.
That's what we do.
All right.
Anyway, what did you do, Gopi?
I've got 2 TV show recommendations for you lot. One's a miniseries. Sharp Objects, watched that recently, starring Amy Adams.
Oh, yes.
Okay. It's based on a book by Gillian Flynn, I believe her name is. Mm-hmm. It was very dark. There's a lot of trigger warnings. It's full of just all the good trigger warnings, all that juicy stuff, just full of that. It's basically about a journalist who goes back to her hometown because of some child murders, and she's basically going along following the investigation. It's great. It's it really unlocks a lot of dark stuff, and like any good detective-y show should, it looks into the darkness of humanity, without unflinchingly.
It sounds really interesting. I might give it. Is it a TV show?
It's a miniseries. I think it's 8 episodes, maybe.
Oh wow!
Solid stuff. It felt like when you're vomiting and you try and cover your mouth and it just sprays out. Imagine the vomit is pain. That's what the show is. You're just watching pain vomit.
I do feel pain when I vomit.
Yeah, that is the show.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. Another show that I watched, show called Barry.
Barry.
Starring Bill Hader. A lot of it's written and directed by Bill Hader too.
It's a funny man.
He is you know him.
He's an SNL guy, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's funny. I like him a lot.
I didn't know. I was not aware of his game.
Right.
This show, it was actually really. It was very, very enjoyable. A lot of creative stuff going on both visually and in the writing. Very commendable. I'm really looking forward to what he does next. Highly recommend it. I had a really good time. It's, I think, 4 seasons, 8 episodes, and each episode's 30 minutes.
Oh, short and sweet.
Very short and very sweet. A lot of the visual stuff, it reminded me of Wes Anderson, but Wes Anderson if he was good. So but this is a
trigger warning for it's come late, but trigger warnings for Wes Anderson fans.
But this is the thing, sure, the pioneers, give them their props. Wes Anderson has a style, as in he's not even the pioneer. A lot of his stuff is taken from the silent era comedies.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Because with the silent era comedies, you can't do comedy through sound, right?
Yeah.
So you have to think about it visually, and he takes a lot of those techniques and puts them into his films. So he's not really even a pioneer, but for the current age, he's the one who does this stuff. And Barry actually takes that, because Bill Hader's a comedy man, and he just flips it, and he makes it actually good.
Does he do it better?
He does it better. In my eyes, he does it better. And the show is very, very good at building suspense and dread, because you constantly feel like something bad is just around the corner. Right. Whilst also
puts you on edge.
Yeah. Whilst the show is also just constantly funny.
Oh, interesting.
So the synopsis is a hitman kind of stumbles into an acting class,
right,
and decides he doesn't want to be a hitman anymore. He wants to be an actor. But his past keeps catching up with him.
That already sounds funny.
It's really good. If you haven't seen Barry yet, it's finished now.
And does he play the hitman?
Yeah. Bill Hader plays the hitman. Fine. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely check out Barry. So that's two thumbs up shows from me: Sharp Objects and Barry. They're on Now TV. If you have Now TV,
I do.
You do have Now TV.
I do have Now TV.
They're both on there. Check them out.
Check them out, guys.
We can have a discussion about it after you've watched it.
Let's do it, bro. Let's do it.
On to other things, though.
Yes.
Are you feeling peckish?
I am feeling very peckish, yeah.
Well, if I had to ask you what kind of cuisine you wanted to eat, from like number 5 up to number 1, which one would you go for? I'm not asking, by the way. Do you know who's asking?
This man over here.
So curious.
This man
Why
over
do you
here.
want to know so much?
He brings the questions.
You want to know number 5 to number 1. What cuisines?
Top 5 cuisines.
Top 5 cuisines. That's what I'm trying to say, but I'm struggling. I am struggling.
And this is based on personal experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just personal experience. All right, cool. I'm happy. Should we do it?
You can do it.
All right. Do you want to go first? Give me your number 5.
My number 5, yeah?
Yeah.
So this was Yoni's idea. I decided not to give it too much thought and just go with what I just,
Same.
off the top, what I would put.
Absolutely. Off the dome.
In number 5, I've put Japanese cuisine.
Ooh, okay.
Do you feel like that's low down? Too low down?
You'll find out.
I feel like you do.
You'll find out, my friend.
I do like Japanese cuisine a lot. I didn't used to because it was like... So my parents still don't like it. Both of them think that fish should not be eaten raw. Whenever we're getting food and I get sushi, my parents are like, I try and get them to eat it, and they're like, no, this is just the idea of it is gross. Like, we don't want to eat this. So with parents who think that way, you can understand that for a large portion of my life, just we weren't eating sushi. Yeah. We weren't eating sushi. Like, it just wasn't an option for us.
Part of your life. Yeah.
Yeah. So sushi was something, and Japanese cuisine was something I had to discover for myself. So it was quite late in my life where I realized it was very nice. That's my Japanese cuisine story. I love it now. Like, I would never say no to sushi or Japanese cuisine.
Cool.
What's your number 5?
Mediterranean food.
What the you can't do that.
That is a cuisine, no? Mediterranean cuisine, is that not?
Just the whole area.
Mediterranean cuisine.
We're just going for nationalities, bro.
Just nationalities.
I'm just going to say Asian cuisine then.
Mediterranean.
Okay, go on.
All right, now cool. All right, just national.
No, you do your
No,
thing.
let's just do national. Let's do national.
Don't let me...
You just had a bit of a go, so we're going to do
Decide.
national. Just national.
No, it's because I realised later on in the
Top
list
5.
I've got an issue. But like...
Cool. I'll stick with Mediterranean
yeah,
food.
yeah.
It's sort of a newfound love for me. But I went travelling a lot last year.
You did. Do you remember back in the day, every
When I
episode
used to
it started off
travel
with Yoni
every
going,
single month.
Yeah, I went to
Coventry.
Oh.
Yeah. Newfound love for this cuisine, man. I went to Greece and Turkey. A lot of nice Mediterranean food there. Areas of Spain as well. Meats, great. Kebabs, great. The salads, supreme. The seafood, especially when it's fresh, delightful. Just good food, man. It can be healthy. You can have a lot of it. It's a kind of a communal type of food. Like, it's just great. Mediterranean, top 5, number 5.
I think the issue with this list is I feel like a lot of these cuisines, apart from like the ones that we're accustomed to, because it's like what we have at home. Like, there are only like certain dishes that we have. Like when I think Greek cuisine or Mediterranean cuisine, there are like a couple of staples, and then we haven't really looked into the deep parts of each cuisine, you know?
Yeah. Well, interestingly, that's why this is 5th, but you'll see my other 4, and you'll see a trend.
I'll see a trend.
You'll see a trend.
Okay.
Yeah.
In 4th place,
Yes.
I have Korean cuisine. I really like Korean cuisine. I think it's one of the few in the world where personally I feel like you match our spice levels. You know? And I think a lot of the world kind of looks down on people that use too much spice, but that's because mainly they can't handle it.
They can't handle it.
They fully can't handle it.
They just can't handle it.
I like spice a lot. Mexico does good spice. Korea does good spice. And then like...
But you need spice to be done right.
Yeah.
It's not just spicy for the sake of being spicy. It needs to work with the flavors.
Exactly, of course.
And yeah, there's a lot of cultures that do it well.
Yeah, I really appreciate that from you guys. As well as there's like the sweetness there as well. Yeah,
It's
sweet
a mix.
and spicy. I like it if it's got that like slight complexity where like these flavors and tastes are playing with each other a bit. I like it.
Yeah, they're sort of playing nicely with it.
Yeah,
sort of. Yeah,
hand in hand.
Hand in hand. Yeah.
So I'm a fan of Korean cuisine. I like a good bibimbap. I like Korean barbecue. Lettuce wraps are great. I wish I could have lettuce wraps more often in my life. But yeah, I like Korean cuisine a lot.
Fantastic.
What's your number 4?
My number 4. South Indian.
Wasn't bland. Wasn't bland. I'm not South Indian either, but I understand. Carry on.
Tamil.
Carry on.
Tamil. It's great food, man. What can I say? Great food. I think, again, my love for sort of South Indian Tamil food, it came from him. Because you're a big pioneer of that. I mean, I started off with the basics, I think. You know, the mutton rolls and stuff. I think that's sort of like the starter for this sort of food. But then obviously meeting this guy treated me to lots of different things. I think I have a good memory of going to like a dosa. Is it a dosa place near yours? Great experience. I love the culture, eating with your hands. That's another thing. I think that adds to the flavor. 100%. My personal favorite is Gopi 65. I think that's one of my...
It's not South Indian, but carry on.
Gopi 65. That's great. Yeah, good food. Again, with the spice thing as well. I think the spice, it really fits my palate in terms of... I don't know why, but it just fits my palate. It's obviously very different to like Korean food.
Yeah, 100%.
But it just works really well and I like it. And it leaves a good taste in my mouth. So, yeah, number 4.
Number 3 for me. This one's like I feel like it's a staple around the world. Chinese. I love me a good Chinese. There's a lot of like very distinct dishes that are just hits everywhere. Like a sweet and sour chicken slaps.
Crispy chili beef.
Crispy chili beef slaps. Peking duck with pancakes.
Peking.
So good. Char siu pork.
Char siu.
Like, there's just too many dishes and they're all great. Special place in my heart. There's a Chinese place very close to my house and I think it's one of the best in London. But it doesn't get... it still kind of gets its cred, but I feel like it's just the people who know. You know?
Special.
So I think I've had a good experience of having a very good Chinese near me. Yeah.
Very nice.
What's your third place?
In third place for me.
Japanese?
No.
Okay.
Filipino.
Oh, of course.
Has to be, man. Has to be there. A bit of a newfound love for me. Filipino food is great, man. Like, you know, obviously you start off with the basics, the adobo, sinigang, pancit. I think those are just the bread and butter of Filipino cuisine. But then on top of that, I think 2 of my favorite dishes or snacks or whatever you call it. One's called palabok. It's kind of like a seafoody, like it's got prawn, egg sort of noodle dish. It's very seafoody, but that's what makes it very nice for me. Like it's just so seafoody. It's great. And lumpia, the sort of fried crispy spring rolls. Delicious. And the dessert as well. Dessert's great. And I think with Filipino food, right, maybe in restaurants, it's not seen as like pristine food, like just the way it's kind of presented. It's not like gourmet. Yeah. Like it doesn't really scream gourmet food, but it's made with so much love and culture and heart. That's why I love it, man.
I think it's a very fun cuisine.
Mahal kita. That means I love you in Tagalog.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay. I was wondering what kind of secret messages we were using the podcast to get through.
Hey.
Are you a pigeon by any chance?
Taiwanese pigeon right
here. In second place, we have Thai food. Oh, Thai. I think a Thai green curry might be one of the best dishes. I actually love it.
Over a red Thai curry?
Yeah, for sure.
Really?
For sure. It's just...
What about a blue curry?
I've never had one.
Never had a blue curry.
You look a bit...
Can you eat me?
Whoa.
Hey, sorry. Hey, sorry. My bad.
I think the fish sauce is the magic in that Thai green curry. I love the combination of all the flavors. It just, everything works in the rice. Oh God.
Tom yum soup?
Tom yum soup is
It's
mad.
yummy.
What's that thing in that? There's this something related to ginger, I think.
Lemongrass?
It's not lemongrass. I can't remember the name, but I had tom yum soup recently, and I had one of those bits in it for the first time, and I was like, "This is the strangest thing."
Is it like bamboo or?
It's similar to. It's like somewhere between ginger and horseradish,
Oh,
and it just completely changed my mouth
in a good way.
in a crazy way. I don't
Crazy way.
even
Wow.
today. I don't know how I feel about it.
Oh.
But the green curry, I think it might be perfection in a dish.
Green curry.
Yeah, I think it might be closest to perfection. And then the massaman, lamb massaman.
You can't go wrong with it. Massaman is a very funky
Yeah.
curry, but it's so good. It is very good to be honest.
They're like very high rating dishes for me. Like what I look for in savory food, these two dishes have that in buckets.
Wow.
Yeah, I have a lot of love for Thai food.
Fair enough.
And peanuts. Satay. Is satay Thai? I feel like it's not.
I think it is Thai, isn't it?
No, I think it's from. I think it might be like Indonesian.
Ah.
Okay.
Well, they do like a. Oh no, is it?
But there is a lot of satay.
There is a lot of
peanuts,
peanut stuff in there.
Pad
Yeah,
Thai,
a lot
of
of
course.
pad Thai. Can't go wrong with the pad Thai.
Yeah.
It is a classic.
What's
Cool.
the place for you?
Number 2, Japanese. I don't know why I said it in that accent, but Japanese food. Just good food, man. It's all about the sushi. It's not even just the sushi, actually. I mean, the sushi is obviously the main component
It's a
of
big
it.
part.
Yeah. I love a nice raw salmon, the sashimi. Nigiri, when I'm feeling fancy, I'll have a dragon roll. It's just good food, but it's also the ramen, man. The ramen ramen's very underrated. And the ramen is beautiful.
I don't understand ramen. Like, when I think of ramen, am I saying it right? Either way, I think of like the bowl with the soup and like the bits on top. I haven't had that ramen ever in my life.
Have you not?
No.
Have you just had the basic sort of store-bought ones?
What's like
Shin ramen.
instant
Yeah.
noodles?
Not instant, like, so not the cup ones,
Right.
but like it's the ones that you buy in a packet, but then you cook it yourself. Like you just boil it in the water and put noodle soup in it.
Like, is Indomie ramen?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Ramen, yeah. No, but there's different types of ramen. There's obviously those which are like have no soup in them.
Right.
Like some of the Indomie ones. You can just have it as noodles.
Yeah.
But I mean the broth ones as well.
I've never had like the proper broth one.
You never had a proper broth one? Oh, you're missing out, man.
But I don't know if I'm a brothy guy. Like when we went to Pho, I didn't go for the soup stuff.
Yeah, you
I didn't go for
didn't.
the pho.
But how long has it been since you tried a broth?
The last pho I had might have been like 3-4 years ago.
No, but not even pho, just like broth noodle. Like,
It's just not my go-to.
not your thing.
No. I don't like too much liquid.
I feel like you're missing out. I feel like I need to take you to a nice Japanese ramen place and like it will open your eyes to a different world. All right,
I'm open
we'll do
to trying
that.
it.
We'll do that. Now, number 1.
In first place, I have vague. The reason why I allowed Mediterranean to happen was because just vague Indian subcontinent. That's first place for me. I'm accepting everything from like
From 14 different countries.
we got biryani from Pakistan. We got like the momos from Nepal. Like just everything, a bit of everything, you know, all the way down to Sri Lanka. Just the variety is insane. For each of these states, they have their own dishes. If you want something like really spicy, you've got the southern Indian states. If you want something a bit milder, you've got the northern ones. If you want like vegetarian, I think.
I mean, it's crazy that there's that much variety with all of those different cuisines. But yeah, you're right.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
I don't understand. What are you trying to say?
I'm just saying there's variety because there's like 5 or 6 different nations you're trying to. Same thing as my Mediterranean one.
I know. That's why I realized the mistake I made, and I was like, okay, yeah, go ahead. But
Some good food.
I think another great thing about the Indian cuisine is how progressive it is, because a lot of it is vegetarian. We were kind of the forerunners for
there's some good vegetarian.
cuisine. Like You eat the food
there.
and you don't feel like you're missing meat.
100%.
It's just food.
I've got like an unhealthy love of paneer.
Yeah.
Like chili paneer.
Yeah,
It's
chili
just,
paneer slaps.
it just slaps hard.
Yeah.
Slaps so hard.
Masala dosa. No meat in that either. You just munch it. You're like, yeah.
I went
Had
to
a solid meal.
I went to a few Bengali weddings a couple of years back, couple of years back. A lot of kind of chaat. It's great.
Yeah.
Just so good, man. Yeah, good food from that area.
Indian cuisine, first place. Easy first place for me. I love a butter chicken, garlic naan too. Why not? There's a lot. There's actually a lot. Can I just get into a little quick thing?
Just get emotional, man.
What I love a lot, like I don't know if you remember the Last Meal Chronicles, but I love a good mutton lamb biryani. And what's great about all these different states of India, as well as the Pakistan, the Bangladesh, everyone's got their own version of the biryani.
Their own little mix.
Biryani, I don't know. I got told off by my siblings for that episode, by the way, because I was saying biryani.
Like paratha.
Yeah. But it's biryani? Okay, biryani.
So you have to say it like that?
As in, they're telling me off for it. I'm just trying to explain, because we've got viewers from all over the place.
Yeah.
But each state has its own version of biryani, and they bring their own thing to it, like their own little flair. And I love all of them equally. Not equally, some are a bit more. I think I like a Hyderabadi and a Pakistani biryani. Lahori biryani, the best. They're like up there for me. But to be honest, I haven't had like a Tamil Nadu biryani. I've heard a lot about Talapakati biryani. I want to try that one day. Biryani. Sorry, I just turned this
I
into
didn't
a
know
love
what
letter
you were
to
saying,
biryani.
but that sounded really nice. Yeah.
We'll go get some
try it.
Talapakati biryani one day.
Yeah.
Go on.
It's just right. Cool.
Can I guess? Can I just take a random stab in the dark?
Do it.
In first place, Yoni has Korean cuisine. Oh my god!
Number 1, Korean.
Yeah.
It's I guess it's just similar for you in terms of just what you've grown up with, right? So I just grew up with Korean food. I think sometimes you just can't beat your mum's cooking or your dad's cooking. I don't know who's the chef, but you just can't beat your mum's cooking. Like sometimes home food is the best, and Korean food. What I love about it is the variety. I think that's the main thing. Because obviously you have your rice, but then you have in a big setting, sometimes up to like 10 different side dishes, all offering something different. Do you know what I mean? Something pickled, something spicy, something sweet, something seafoody, something meaty, like just so much variety. And the broths, the stews, the noodles, it's just sensational. Korean barbecues, man, it's just good.
Sorry, noodles reminded me. Chow mein for number 3 Chinese. Love a good chow mein.
Chicken chow mein.
Not chicken chow mein. I like the house special mixed meat.
The house special. Okay.
Sorry, you said noodles and it reminded me of chow mein, and I was like, damn it, I didn't say chow mein.
The noodles are great. Yeah, Korean noodles. And chow mein. Chow mein's great as well.
No, it's okay. I
chow mein is
completely
very
stole
great.
the Korean spotlight.
You did.
I know.
And I'm deeply upset.
I'm so sorry.
Like, I want you to like just reflect on what you just did for a few seconds, yeah? But Korean food, number 1. Simply the best.
Tell us your top 5 cuisines. All my cuisines were Asian. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like Mexican might have been a runner-up.
I've got some honorable mentions.
Yeah.
I think I've got a couple. I think
Go on.
Vietnamese is one.
Yeah, I do like Vietnamese.
I do like a good Vietnamese cuisine. What's the other one that I had?
Iranian up there for me.
Iranian food.
Like one of the best meals I've had. I put it easily in the top 50 of all time. Was at a place I went for my birthday called the Drunken Butler. Mm-hmm. Amazing food. I think it's got like 2 Michelin stars or something.
We have a very good Persian friend, don't we? Who invited us to like a home cooking thingy.
I didn't go, but I've heard.
Oh, you didn't go?
I've heard tales.
You weren't there?
No, I wasn't. I missed out.
Beautiful food. So good.
Pheasant John. Shout out to Pheasant John.
Is that his name?
No, it's it might be one of my favorite Iranian dishes.
Oh,
it's walnut and pomegranate meat, chicken, lamb. It's very good.
Sorry, just one more comment. You know him with the chow mein comment. I've got one for Tamil food. It's not even food. It's a drink.
What's the drink?
Come on, bro. Mango lassi.
It's not Tamil.
Is it not Tamil?
No, man.
All right, we'll cut that out in the end. Shit, is it not?
Of course it's not, man.
What is
lassi.
it?
It's like North Indian.
Is it Scottish?
Scottish, yeah.
Mango lassi. Right. Okay. But yeah. Tell us your top 5 cuisine.
Somehow neither of us said Italian. I thought he'd do Italian, but
Italian's good, but
Italian's so overrated.
it's not overrated. No, it's not overrated.
It's definitely overrated.
No,
bro.
it's not overrated. It's
Like,
good. It's
no,
good. It's good.
No,
it's not overrated.
No, it's overrated.
It's not overrated.
It's
man.
definitely
it's
overrated.
Good.
No,
It's weirdly comfort food for me. It's like,
obviously it is.
yeah, that's why it's good. You can't say it's overrated.
It's overrated.
Right?
I think there's a lot of Eurocentric, like a lot of the food critics, and they prefer European food because they think
Italian
it's more
and French.
sophisticated.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Ratatouille.
Shut the fuck up. All right.
So I wouldn't go that far. But
What do you mean? Okay, listen.
I wouldn't go that far.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Look at your top 5. And like Italian is consistently Italian, French. They're always put above like your top 5.
Yeah.
Does that not? They're just obviously overrated. What do you mean?
I don't know about overrated. They're just personally they're not in my top 5. That's what it is. But I don't think they're overrated. There's good Italian dishes. The French cuisine I'm not too familiar with because I don't like.
He's doing damage
Paris.
control, but I know what he's about.
I like Italian food, man. I like Italian food.
What's your favorite Italian dish?
Huh?
What's your favorite Italian dish?
Pasta.
All right. If you enjoyed what you heard and watched here today,
Lasagna.
report us because I feel like it's been coming.
Lasagna.
Like there was a lot of talk on this episode about
There was a lot of talk, yeah.
all sorts of things,
Conspiracy
disgusting
theories.
things. Who do we think we are?
Taiwanese water racing ducks.
They're not ducks, they're pigeons.
Pigeons.
That's mad. Follow,
Chemtrails.
subscribe, do everything you need to do.
Chicken chow mein.
Tell us your top 5 cuisines. We really want to know. Do you think Italian food's overrated? What are your thoughts on a English breakfast? A full English breakfast. I like it.
Fish and chips.
Do you like an English breakfast?
I do like an English breakfast.
Let us know if you like it or if you think
Only
it's overrated.
after a night out.
Oh, the next morning.
The next morning.
Okay. See you in the next episode. Until then, sayonara, bitches.